Oh, I guess they said we live,
We
right?
live. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Good evening. My name is Stormy, and this is Eddie Up. And this is not our usual way we come in. We usually got music and everything, but our technician, our wonderful technician, his son has a graduation today. So we don't have music. We don't have our intro,
We don't have our sound effects.
our sound effects, but we gonna keep on pushing
We gonna
because that's
still
what
make
we
it
do.
happen though.
But the good thing about him, what he did do is he came and set us
Set
up,
up,
right?
yeah, that's right.
All right. High
Now
five, Ron.
our director is engineering and directing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Good evening. I don't have to say we licensed by ASCAP because we ain't playing no
We ain't
music.
playing no
today.
music. Y'all just play it in your head.
Compton Xchange Talk Radio is your urban connection, and I'm your host Stormy on the mic, and this is Mr.
Eddie
Up. Okay, we give praise to God for giving us this platform to reach the masses and keep people informed of what's going on in our communities. Eddie, tell the people a little bit about our show.
Well, you know our show is informative.
He obviously forgot what our show was about. It's informative.
Our show is informative, controversial, and inspirational.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
saying it a little backwards, but you know. And we come to you every Thursday from 6:30 to 8. You know, we be late sometime, but you know we always here. And you always can call in. We feel that this show here that we bring to you is good. Is a good show for the whole city and all the surrounding cities. You know, for everywhere. And you can always call in at our phone number is 310
946.
3110.
Again.
310
946.
3110.
All right. Well, you know what? Since we don't have our music, it kind of throws the rhythm off. We're accustomed to doing things a certain way, so please forgive us today. We want to still be able to bring you a show, irregardless of not having our technician, right? But what we also want you to do, too, is this. We want you to share. You know, we appreciate you guys. We want to let you know thank you because we couldn't do this without you.
That's right.
And there is a purpose behind this. We really actually want us to we want to have a show. So we want you guys to be able to let us know if it's something that we're not talking about you want to talk about.
Always.
Text in.
Text it, call it, and say ask, too.
Our technician is at the computer and she gets everything and she can respond to you. So basically, we're going to do our Stay Woke.
Yes. Go ahead with yours. You got a
Oh,
bunch of
okay. He said I got a bunch of Stay Woke. Well, you know, we do our Stay Woke. And I'm so accustomed to our music going, now stay woke. Dun, 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 dun.
Baby creep.
Go ahead. That part. Go ahead.
On kerosene.
Ooh, now stay woke. I don't think that's a good thing. We should not be doing that. But guess what?
We did it.
We did it. We improvising. Well, my stay woke is this. You know, I always want to give you something to stay woke on. And don't sleep on Meghan Markle, okay?
Please
The
don't.
sister done made it to the palace. Guess what? And she's buying her mama a mansion in London. That's what I'm talking about. She is buying her mother a mansion in London. So guess what?
She gonna be right
mama
there with her.
coming to London
Mama
too.
gonna be there.
That's what's up.
Hanging out
See,
with
the
her.
sister went on and just turned things topsy-turvy over there in London. Did she not do that?
Yes, she did.
She did a doggone thing.
She did.
She did it her way, right?
She did it her
Okay,
way.
you guys, if you missed the wedding, you missed something
You missed
that was
special.
fantastic, right? Because she did her thing. I mean, she brought her culture in with their culture, and that was a good thing. Had the little black bishop, man. Had the choir,
Had
man.
the black bass.
Player, right?
thing.
Everybody. And so I thought it was magnificent on how they did that thing, you know. And then she got this cool mama with the dreads and a little piercing on her
Mom's
nose and
looking
stuff like
nice.
that.
She looked nice.
Yeah, she is beautiful, right? So now the sister is buying her mama a mansion in London. That's what I'm saying.
It might not be a mansion. It might be a
No,
palace.
it's a mansion. It's a mansion. They said it was a mansion, and before, if she doesn't move right into the mansion, she will be in the palace.
Oh, she gonna stay in the palace?
She can.
Oh,
She can.
she done
Okay.
turned it around.
Okay, sisters is doing it big in London. That's what I'm talking about. Anytime you done went and hooked you a prince, you're doing a doggone thing.
They're gonna say, "Excuse me, mother, you cannot wear those house shoes in the palace.
Stupid. You know what? Don't pay any.
We have gold slippers for you to wear."
They just might have gold slippers, right? Okay, so another sister I want to bring and just say, don't sleep and stay woke on. Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish is doing her thing. She's hosting the 2018 MTV movie.
Music and Movie Awards. Is it movie and music?
It's movie and TV
TV.
awards.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so don't sleep on Tiffany Haddish. You know, it's one thing. What happens is once you spark a fire out there, you know, in TV land, then they use you a lot, right? That's the same way they did. What's the little short funny man?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, you know, once he blew up, he does everything.
He's viral.
In every movie,
Viral
right?
everything.
He's
That's
in
it.
everything. So I think that's the same thing's going to be happening with Tiffany Haddish. So stay woke on Tiffany Haddish. She's doing her doggone thing. Sisters are doing it big. We got people in the Palace. We got Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish, her favorite word is she ready.
Mm-hmm.
She ready.
Okay. Well, I guess she is ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That's
that
right.
part. So she ready for her new up and coming lifestyle.
Oh,
right?
she got the Netflix deal for $800,000.
Okay. Is that the one that Monique said she wasn't supposed to take? We ain't even talk about that.
We ain't gonna talk about that one.
But you know, everybody got to make their own decisions, right?
Hey, you got to make your decisions. You got to do what you got to do for you and yours.
Better make your money, because they told me by the time I retire, Social Security ain't gonna be in place. Ain't gonna be no money, so you better get it while you can.
And then they moved it all the way up to 67 now. He'll be 67 to retire.
Well, shoot, I started looking at the, you know, they send you this thing from Social Security and tell you by this particular time, this is what you're gonna, you know,
receive.
what your benefits gonna be, right? Child, I probably need to work till I'm 75.
To 100.
Child, listen.
I'm on my way to work.
No, but what's going to happen, we're going to still be doing this podcast,
That's
you
right.
guys, and by then, we're going to have some people that are going to be sponsoring us, and so, you know.
We're going to be old
you know,
doing it.
So stay woke on Stormy and stay woke on Eddie
Yeah,
up, because
that's right.
we're going to blow up one day, right?
We going to blow up.
You know, look,
We blowing.
don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream,
That's right.
okay?
And scary money don't make money.
All right. Okay, so we did our thing about Tiffany Haddish. We're talking about Meghan Markle, right? Sisters, right? So my last day walking, that I'm going to let Eddie have the floor, it's going to be on Jay-Z and Beyonce. Now, listen. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to try to make sure that you can see this. Okay? Don't sleep on the king and the queen. She's up in her major thong. Baby is bomb, right? You know, no homo.
Let me see that.
No homo. And Jay-Z he's blowing on his cigar.
Around.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is the king and queen, right? They just doing their doggone thing. So if
She
don't
reading
sleep,
the paper and he's
right. So anybody, you know, so look, this is how they get down when they just relaxing. But
Just
now,
chilling.
now I'm serious. Like, girl got body, right? Thong is too cute.
And she got 2 babies?
She has 3.
3, because they had twins, huh?
Yeah. And look, Jay-Z ain't looking too bad either, you know, with the little puff pass. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That's real cool, right?
That's cool.
And so don't sleep on this power couple.
That's a power couple there, boy.
And so this is the thing we're talking about today. We're going to be going in talking about what's love,
love
got to do with it. Some people say it got a whole lot to do with it. Some say it ain't got nothing to do with it. It's all about convenience. It depends on your situation.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Everybody's situation is different. Right? So, you know, some people been in love. Some people in infatuation, right? And some people just in situations and relationships just for convenience.
Convenience
so we're going
and
to talk
comfortable.
about that today. We're going to talk about that. What love got to do with it? And, you know, I'm going to just say this. Because I ain't going to put Eddie business out there, but it's okay for me to put mine out there. I might know a little something. I might not. I don't know. Because, you know, I'm a triple threat. I'm a triple threat. I mean, I done been down 3 times.
But it may not have been, you know, it just didn't work out.
So so I'm on my 3rd situation, baby. I'm on my 3rd situation, right? So so do I know, what does love have to do with it? Do I even know what love is?
Do you?
You know what? When I thought about what we were going to talk about today, I had to really sit down and figure out if I did. Now, mind you, my first marriage was at 21. Do I know what love is? Maybe, maybe not. Now, I remember in high school, seriously. And I think in high school was my first time I really felt like I was in love, or I thought I was in love, or my heart, you know, was feeling for somebody. You know, I think that was my first encounter with what I would consider love. When was your first encounter?
My first encounter of love, I think I was 16.
So, okay, we're talking about love here. So, do you think we were infatuated, or do we think we were really? Do you think you were really in love?
I think I was, because you know, to lose that person, it hurt.
Okay.
And I think if you really love somebody and you lose that person and you hurt, you really cared about that person. You really truly love that person. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, at a young age, you really haven't got deep into it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, maybe it was...
But that's your first
puppy
experience.
love. That's my first experience of love where it hurted. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Jackson that came out with "She's Out of My Life." I sit
Oh my God, you had a breakdown?
I sit in the hallway on the floor and play the song. My mama say, "Get your ass up." She said, "Yeah."
Oh, you really shed some tears?
Yeah, man.
And that's what happens in high school. That's when you really shed the first tears.
I was hurt, boy.
The first, was she left you?
Huh?
Did she leave you?
What it was, I don't know. We broke up. She went back. Then we went to prom and everything, and then we went to prom. The breakup was prior to prom, and then we kind of got back together, went to prom, and then it was it.
You know, now see, this is a strong man. A man that can sit there and tell you that, he shed some tears. He was hurt. That's a good thing, because a lot of men don't want to talk about being hurt, or, they cried. And I remember doing a whole lot of crying in high school, too. That stuff is crazy. I know that was my first experience feeling like I was in love. You know what I'm saying? And, man, I remember it was almost like near to being like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's basically what it is.
Almost like crazy, not in your right mind.
Not in your right mind. It's like it's like, especially when you with the person, and I don't know the difference of it is when you get older and when you're younger. When you're younger, you're vibrant and everything is just young. You know what I'm saying? And you don't experience the stuff that you know. It's just young, But it's a different feeling, like when you, from that point of being older and being in love, than when you're young and being in love.
Right.
Young and being in love is just fun.
Yeah. It's fun. I think it's more like, infatuation. What I want you guys to do, look, call and tell us about, your experience of being in love. 310-946-3110. We want to hear from you. Everybody's experiences are different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My first marriage I was 21 years old. But me saying I was in love, I'm not going to really say that I was in love. I think I was probably more with infatuation, because back then it was, oh my God, he's fine. You fell in love with the he fine, or what he drove, or that type of thing. I'm not going to really say that I really felt like I was majorly in love. I felt like, based on me growing up, I saw my mother and father, and I knew that life should have been like, you have a mother and you have a father type of deal, and I wanted the white picket fence, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't gonna hurt. It didn't hurt any of that. If he could be fine, that'd be good too. That's just icing on the cake, right?
And
then you have babies and you go on. I don't think there was a whole lot of thought about, was I really in love? And there was no thought. And were we a match? You know what I'm saying? What we had in common. What was our goals? At 21, I think I was way too young to actually get married, and none of those things took place. I never sat down and said, okay, we're equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? He's doing this, I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? I want this, he wants that. We never came together and actually had a life plan. We were just doing something. So I can actually say that I don't think I was in love. I think I was in love with being married. I think I was in love with the situation. I felt like, oh, he fine. That's my dude. That kind of thing. And to be honest with you, I married somebody from Compton High. And some people might know him, Pookie. His name was Pookie. I married Pookie, and basically, Pookie was a little hustler. You know what I'm saying? So, no shade to Pookie, because that was my husband. That was my dude. That's who I married.
How long were you married?
Actually, we were physically married for 5 years, but on paper we was married for 15. So yeah. And so, you really, when you marry somebody, that's some serious business. And I don't think sometimes we take things serious when you sit before, the pastor or whoever you sat before and make that commitment before God. It's serious business, and I don't think we really took it serious. I think we were just young, and I'm going to say young and dumb, because I think that was really way too young to get married, because you're not really sure what it is you want. And that was me at that age. That was me back in the 80s, okay? Now, people might be getting married, at the same age, doing 2018. They might be in a different place, you know what I'm saying, and looking for different things. But I think that I wasn't ready.
I don't know if I was ready when I got married, but I don't know, but I got married, and it seemed like it was good. You know what I'm saying? Because I did care a lot about her. At 23. We got our first property, and I had a good job. She had a good job, and
So, but did you guys really sit down before you got married and just said, okay, this is the plan?
Well, we were together for 2 years before we got married.
Okay.
And we sat down. We talked about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And what we wanted to do and this and that. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? We had went through our breakups and everything. And
during the course of the marriage?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of them. But I'm the type of person that when I was in a marriage, I don't like everybody in my business.
So you guys went through a couple of breakups,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Yeah, we went through a couple of shootouts and fights. I'm serious. No shade. I'm serious. We went through a couple of shootouts.
Yeah.
House got shot up. You know, had a couple of fights. You know.
At you guys? Was it at you guys or was it?
You know, some people came to the house and shot the house up. You know.
Was it?
You know, it wasn't me. I was that part. It wasn't me. You know, we done did. You know, I done did the little thing with burning the clothes up. You know, I done been through major stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say no. It wasn't love. We was just doing something that wasn't ready for what marriage was
really
supposed to be really about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So child. Look, we done did shoot ups. We've done burning up the clothes. We did the fights. You know, parents at the house. You know, father rolling over there on two wheels in his car. You know, man. Everything. So yeah. That's why I write books, because I've had a lot of things going in my life that I got to share with people. But anyway, yeah.
I like to write my story.
Shout out to Pookie though. He's still the homie. Gregory Atkins is still the homie, you know. But you know what? Guess what? That was at 21, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was at 21. And so, I don't know that you're really mentally ready or you really mature enough, but some people are. I could just say, I worked, I did my thing, I understood, I knew what I wanted, But when you get together, you got to be on the same page.
You got to.
Because if you ain't on the same page, things is going to be a little bit different.
It will.
And you got to be ready to be committed to that person, you know. Yeah, I had some problems with the brother with some commitment. He had commitment issues. He had commitment issues, and I had I'm going to slap you in your head issues because I wasn't playing. That part, no, I wasn't playing. Part. So, it was a little dysfunctional, but it is what it is. But man, so.
This is going to be a good show tonight.
I think so. I think it's going to be an awesome show. Are you in love, infatuated, or
comfortable?
What? Yeah. Is it just convenient?
Convenient.
Is your relationship just convenient? Have you been around? Have you been together so long with, guess what? I'm too old to keep on
I'm too old to move on. I guess stay right here, I guess. Well, we'll see tonight. We got some few people we're going to talk to tonight.
Yeah, we have a couple that we're going to talk to about 7 o'clock that's been married for over 30 years, okay? Now, that right there is something to behold, to be able to still stand after 30 years and still say, this is my husband and this is my wife. We're going to also have a person we're going to talk to that has been divorced and is in a new relationship. So we're going to talk about her being divorced, and we're going to talk about her new relationship and how she feels about it now, what got her to the divorce stage type of, Then we have another couple that we're going to talk to that haven't been married as long as 30-something years, but they're married, and, we're going to talk about their struggles, And, like I said, text, email, do whatever you want to do, but let us know how you're feeling about this thing, because do you really know what love is? What does love have to do with it? Does it have anything to do with it? Because, after that, I can tell you, after we do our first call, I'll tell you about my second marriage. I can tell you about my second marriage, okay? We could talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been around the world a little bit, Got the marriage at 21. We used to shoot him up and fight. He ran the streets and ran the women too, right? But I ain't no punk. I've been a boss for a long time. Trust that. So if I can't do nothing, I can get them up. And if I can't get them up, Daddy and my brothers can. So we're gonna that's how that first marriage kind of ran around like that. But he's still my homeboy. He's still my homeboy. Then I'll tell you about my second marriage after we talk to this beautiful couple that's been married for over 30 years. Director, are we ready for that? Are we? Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this, man. What love got to do with it? Ask Tina Turner. I kicked her butt.
Eat the cake, Annie Mae.
Eat the cake, honey, man. Listen.
Eat the cake, Annie Mae.
Look, honey, if Ike had anything, my family would have. We would have.
I whooped his ass.
We would have rolled on Ike.
He got his ass whooped.
We would have rolled on Ike.
I don't think she had no brothers.
Hello, this is Calvin.
Hey, Calvin, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great. This is Stormy, and this is Mr. Eddie Up, and we appreciate you being on our show talking about what does love have to do with it. Now, what I want you to do is this is Calvin Cresso, and tell us your wife's name.
Pam.
Okay, Pam Cresso. And how long have you both been married?
We have been married This year in July, it will be 35 years.
Oh my God. Oh my God, honey. Y'all must have angels posted around from the top of your head to the sole of your feet to make it to 35 years because that is amazing.
It is amazing. It's quite amazing, but it's quite a blessing also. And we've, we are partners. We are teammates. We are lovers, friends, all of that. I have Pam right here now.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Blessed,
Yeah, you got to be
and
blessed.
more blessed.
Oh, girl, look. Tell me, how did you stay married to this man for 35 years? Please tell me. What I want to know is, what is your definition of love?
You know, when you marry your best friend, someone who you will ride or die with, someone that you're going to, their faults are your faults, and you work together to make it work, then nothing is impossible. And so being married 35 years has definitely been a journey. Yes, we've had our ups and yes, we've had our downs, but we vowed to stay committed through it all. And just like how you have your best friend and you'll say, we will ride or die buddies.
Right.
If you take that same, um, develop that same situation, that same philosophy into your marriage, then nothing is impossible.
Now, see, you know what? This is major because you guys are talking from experience. You guys have been married a long time. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what age did you get? How old were you when you both married?
Wow, we were I was 19 and my husband was 20.
Yeah, I was 20.
You know, and that's really, really young, Eddie. That's really young
That's
for a
young.
marriage because I just said that, I was 21 when I had my
And I
first
was
marriage.
23.
And he was 23. And trust me, mine was infatuation, honey. I'm serious. I know I wasn't in love with nobody.
So, how long were you guys together before you got married?
We were not together that long, probably less than a year. But with us, it's similar to probably like you all too. We got married. We were in love or infatuated. I don't know what you would call it. But the key was we decided, we vowed to grow together. We had a plan. We had a goal. We knew we loved each other. And we decided that we were going to grow. So we got a lot of experience and advice from not only our parents, but other people, and we gleaned, and we decided that we were going to really work, and whatever happened within our home, we were going to keep in our home. And so that was really just the tools that allowed us to just grow.
So did you have those tools in the first 5 years? Or, I mean, say, for instance, okay, you married at 19 and 20. That's really marvelous to have that type of goal set at 19 and 20. But did you really have that type of goal set at 19 and 20? Or did it take to you like 5 years before you really sat down and said, okay, this is where we are?
It definitely took us. We had to do some goal setting. So when we got together, we met in college, and by us partnering together, it helped us get through college. And after we graduated from college, it was time to make some decisions. Well, what is it that we were going to do? Because at that age, the only thing, we just kept trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that was get through school. Yeah. And then after we had gotten through school, then we indicated, well, we don't want to pay rent all of our lives. So then our next goal then to purchase a home. And then we purchased a home. And in the midst of all of it, we were having children, raising babies, and our goals became their goals. It was getting them through school, getting them to the next level.
Yeah, but if I may, don't get it twisted.
Okay.
It took us, it was a process to get us started, because we jokingly say this. We said we've been happily married for nearly 35 years, but that first year, that was hell. That was
right,
that was
that's what I want to hear about, because it sounds like the perfect marriage, and we know nothing is perfect, right? We know nothing is perfect, but
we went through that process that first year,
and we always say you see the glory, but you don't know the story.
Oh, okay.
So we had to learn each other. We argued, we fought just like everyone else, but then we had to say, well, what is it that we want to do? If we're friends and we're ride or die and we're gonna do this, we have to make this commitment. And then we kept setting our eyes on the goal. And and what helped our marriage was that we were devout Christians, and when we listened to advice, we would measure it against the Word of God and say, what would Jesus do? What would God do?
Yeah.
How would He have that? And then that's what softened our hearts. Because we got into with our friends, well, I wouldn't do that for no man. I wouldn't do that for
Right.
no woman.
Right.
But then we had to go back to the Bible, and the Bible said, "Husbands, love your wife as God loved the church. Wife, obey, submit." And then those words didn't become a bad word when you were submitting unto the Lord.
Okay, so basically, you're saying that through your whole entire marriage, it's been based on God's word.
Oh, most definitely.
See, and that's
Yes,
that's
and really sharing with one another. We learned the keys to really making our marriage last was, number one, we had to communicate. We can talk about anything.
okay.
And we learned how to talk, and then we learned how to always, I said this earlier, how whatever happened in our house stayed in our house.
That's
We
the
had to
important thing
learn
right there.
to keep other people out of our business.
Of course.
And, hell with what other people are saying. It's all about, well, babe, what you want to do. How are we going to handle this? How are we going to figure this out? How are we going to make this thing work? And then we did that with everything, including we share everything, including our finances.
You know
So,
what? Let's
We
talk
had a
about
show
the
like-
finances
we had a
part.
show like
We
that.
had a show talking about money. Okay, basically like who made the most money, and to this day, I have a son and a daughter-in-law, and they actually put their money in the pot. And I've never done this, so they put their money in the pot, and they take care of the household. So tell us about that, because that's you guys' marriage was built on the Bible, which is a good thing, and obviously it's blessed you because you've lasted this long. 35 years is a long time to be married to a person. You've shared money, you've had children together, you've raised children. Had there ever come a time where somebody wanted a break?
break what? Break each
A
other's
break. I
necks
mean,
or
a
break
break.
what?
I mean, has there ever been a time where she might wanted to break, you might wanted to break? Just sometimes life can be overwhelming.
Yeah. We want to break just about once a year. every year. What do you mean? I mean, it's been a struggle. I mean, it's been a blessing, but we go through issues like everyone else.
And that's what
But
I want to talk about,
that
because
we
you have a
love
lot
one
of people that have not made it to 35 years, okay? Have been married and divorced and married and divorced and then trying to do it again, and you guys seem to have the recipe on what it takes to go through a marriage. Now, we know it wasn't perfect. We know there was some problems too, and I trust me, I love the Lord. I believe God. I love His word, and I believe anything. If you stay focused on God and the word is in the midst of it, everything's gonna be all right. But there's days when you wake up and you ain't worried about no word, and he done got on your nerve, or she done got on your nerve. Are we gonna just grab hands and okay, we got to pray first, or has there been times where wasn't no prayer involved and you just said what you had to say?
And that was yes. We had those days, we had those moments, we had those seconds, and we had those hours. Now, one of the things, let's take it back to friendship. Now, your sister,
Can you speak
or
up?
your brother.
Can you speak up to the
what
phone?
happens? I'm sorry.
Your voice is getting real low. Are you guys away from the phone?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so your brother or sister would mess up, things would happen, and you would be so mad, but you can't tell your sister you're no longer my sister, or you can't tell your brother you're no longer my brother. You have to work that thing out, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how upset. And that's how we became brothers and sisters in Christ. And so it was no, I can't get mad and upset and we're no longer together. So that's how we had to take that approach. And that's what we had to do in all things. And don't get me wrong, like my husband said, every anniversary we wanted a divorce. We would say, okay, we just gonna do this year, and then we gonna call it quits. And then we start saying, okay, we're gonna do this to get the kids out. And then, and what happened? We kept getting through it. And then all we kept developing was a faith file, which showed us that those things that we thought were hard, we had to get through those things anyway. And what it did, it made our marriage stronger. It gave us tougher skin. And it just showed us the longer we stayed committed, that we were going to get through it. What happens in most couples and most situations, they don't stick in there long enough. They just say, no, I can't do
Mhm.
this. I
Mhm.
can't. In marriage, you say in sickness and in health, for richer and for poor. People say those words because they're so in a rush to get to the end that say you are now husband and wife. They're not really listening to what those words say, what those words mean,
Right.
and what an impact it's going to make on your life.
I believe
And
that.
so
I believe that. If it sounds like what you guys took your vows serious, and I believe that a lot of times we take the vows, but we don't really take them really serious. And I can contest to that. You know, I got married at 21, stayed married physically for 5 years, and on paper for 15. Okay, but when I was done, I was done. But what you guys had, we didn't have. There was no goals in place. There was nothing. We didn't sit down and talk about how we see our future going, and we didn't plan life together. Like I said before, I think I just married based on infatuation. I don't think I was in love. And so sometimes you get married and you figure the love will come. But I like how you said you guys fought it out. So do you think there was ever a time where you've gone through the infatuation, now you're in love, and now every year that you guys said that you were gonna not stay married, on anniversary, was that about convenience?
No, because what happened is we have, as we're saying these things,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we really have, Pam and I have, we truly and sincerely love, adore. We fall in love every day with each other
Wow.
more and more. Even as I'm listening to my wife talking now, I'm falling more and more in love with her.
Aw,
And we work at our marriage,
that's beautiful.
right? Every day we have to work at it. A lot of people get love lazy. I love to say
Okay,
that
I like that.
terminology.
Love
They
lazy.
get
Lazy.
love lazy. They don't invest. They do things when they were dating and when they were coming
Mm-hmm.
together, but
Mm-hmm.
after they get
Get
married, they get
comfortable. They
lazy.
yeah. I've always taught my son that. I said, whatever you did to get the young lady, don't stop doing it. Add to it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people do that. They don't, especially men. We get comfortable. Once we got you, we comfortable. We don't do the things we used to do.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. That's
That's
true.
right. That's why I'm out shopping right now. As we on talking right now.
You said
I'm
you
out
out shopping?
I'm, I'm, I'm out at the Coach store right now.
Uh-oh.
Getting my baby whatever she wants.
How about that?
How about
see,
that?
See, that's what I'm
See?
talking about. See, you guys need to start training. We have to do a training with you, Pastor Cressel, so you can train these people in how to make it to the 35-year mark and how to keep doing what you're doing and take them to the Coach store and the Gucci store and the Louis Vuitton
Yeah.
store and any other store she wants to go to.
And it's true because in marriage is so different now than it was in our parents' dispensation.
Okay.
We both have to work. We work. We're working people, and we have jobs. So just like I work, she work, and together we earn a good living. But I feel, this is my own feeling, is that if you work hard, you ought to
Play hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ought to be able to enjoy
See, I believe that too.
things in life.
Get me a car.
and that all comes in that planning. So
Okay.
if we planning some trips, we taking a trip with the kids and we taking a trip by ourselves because we sometimes we forget that we have to work at our marriage. Just like how we have to work on our jobs
Mm-hmm.
and we have to work to keep things and set things straight
Right.
and cherish things, you have to do those same things in your marriage.
Right.
It's so important. You've got to keep the fire in your marriage.
All right. So tell me, what do you do? Okay, because we're gonna let you go in a little while, but tell me, you just said the key word. What do you do to keep the fire?
No,
Well, one of the things I know my husband, and it's almost like studying him. Just like how I went to school and took courses and learned those courses, I did the same with my husband. And likewise, he does the same with me. He knows me, and I know the things that make him happy. My 100% is trying to make him happy. Not my own gratitude, not saying what I don't have or what I need. I don't put the focus on me. So if I'm constantly putting everything in him, you know what's going to happen? It's going to reciprocate. And he's
Okay.
going to turn around and he's going to say, well, let me do for her. And he's going to want to do just as much for me as as I'm doing for him. So
Okay.
therefore, our emotional tanks stay full.
Wow.
And so
That's
I'm
good.
keeping him fed, and he's doing the same.
You guys are
That's
deep. You
That's
guys are
deep.
deep. I
Yeah.
enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to just bring you on live so they can see who you are. I think that's gonna be important. And we might have to do a counseling show or something on marriage because you
We
guys
can
would
do
set
that.
it off.
He said we can do
we're,
that.
We're marriage counselors.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
that's what we do too. So we're certified. We through the Fuller Academy. So we've been doing a lot of counseling for years. And
You
years.
guys are too much. Okay, now what's the likelihood that I would have some counselors
So do you guys counsel
on
yourself?
being interviewed? Oh my goodness, I had no idea you guys were counselors. That's not fair. Look. You guys are giving some good information. I mean, you're making me think. Seriously, this is really good information, and we appreciate it. I will be getting in touch with you all, and we're going to set up a show.
All right.
Beautiful. We would love that.
Thank you for being
Thank
our
you,
guest.
guys.
We
We
really
enjoyed you
appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you so
All
much.
right. God bless you.
God bless you,
Thank-
too.
God bless you.
Thanks.
All right. Take care now.
All right, bye. How about that?
How about
now, that's
that?
awesome.
That was really
Okay, some very good information.
Good
Did you sit
information.
hear her talk about her tank?
Yeah.
Her emotional
Her
tank?
emotional tanks
yes,
are full.
Now, you need to stay on full. Now,
And what she say?
Pam and Calvin Cresta said, stay full.
She said she focused on him
That was amazing.
and he focuses on her. You know,
Right.
it's not about me, it's about him. It's not about him.
And what else
it's
did they say? They said they're best friends.
Best
and she
friends,
said, I'm his ride,
about- Ride or die.
How about that? Now, how many ride or dies are out there? If you're a ride or die, hit me up at 310-946.
3110.
310-946.
3110.
We want to talk to some ride or dies.
Some ride or dies.
Y'all ride or die out there for your man? You ride or die for your sisters? What you doing? We want to hear from you. Man, listen, I guess I didn't ride or die for that first one, huh?
There you go. It ain't about you.
I didn't have no, he wasn't speaking my love language, right? And speaking of love languages, I have this book, okay? It's called The 5 Love Languages, How to Express Heartfelt Commitment to Your Mate. And it's written by Gary Chapman. You guys check this out. Seriously, we were really looking to, it's amazing that Pam and Calvin Cressel are actually counselors. That's good because they gave some real good information. And it was so just strategic, how they were coming out with this information. I'm looking like, man. And then he said they certified. How about that? We have some teachers, so we're going to have to do a show with them on there. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the 5 love languages, Eddie. And the number one first love language is words of affirmation. This language uses words to affirm other people for those who prefer the words of affirmation language, hearing I love you. Mm-hmm. So that's the word, that's number one, saying I love you. Using your voice, using your mouth. I love you. You know what, you're beautiful. I love your bald head. Oh my God. That slopey nose right there. Oh. Love language. Everybody doesn't have the same love language.
No.
So one is, giving people compliments. And saying I love you, and always saying I love you.
Yeah.
See, what is your love language?
I think another thing I think that's important, and you said about me, I'm very observant, especially with somebody I care about. I'm observant, and that's what I think that's lost in a lot of relationships for us, the man. Because I feel that a man should always be attentive to his woman.
Okay.
If she comes in the house with a different hairdo, he should know that.
You know what? That's good to say. You know what? Even if you don't like it, baby, your hair look good. You got your hair done. All right.
No, but he should know it, because if you walk past you walk past him and he don't say anything about your hair, and it's totally different from what it was when you walked out the door. He ain't paying attention to you.
Is that right?
You know what I'm saying? I've always been the type of person. I'm attentive.
I bet you if you walk out with a certain some clothes on, you come back in with some different clothes on. I bet he pays attention to that. I bet he'll know what that is. If you come home and your panties on the inside out, I bet he'll know what that is.
Or the different color.
You want some attention? How about I give you some attention? If you left here with some panties, you came home, you ain't got none. Guess what? I bet you pay attention to that.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, boy.
That means you done got comfortable, and I'm in it for just convenience. And guess what? Somebody else got some panties.
Somebody else is turning them inside out.
You don't put them back on and they keep it on the wrong way.
No. You come home and you get your panties on one leg.
You stupid.
One leg is out.
Now, you know what? You know that's a joke because who can walk around
Russian,
with both legs?
Russian.
They don't even make panty legs that big.
If
both your legs can fit in, if both of your legs can fit.
No, I ain't saying both legs. I'm just saying you put one leg in, we got to put the other one in. And you just got the one leg.
You got on some one-sided panties. Really, Eddie?
Oh, God. You take a picture. Should I even put the other leg in?
And he busted himself up.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. The next love language, number 2. For the first, number 1 is words of affirmation. Number 2 is quality time. Quality time is important. When a person takes out some time with you, when they set aside some time, say, you know what, baby, I'm busy, but on Tuesday, that's going to be our day. You know, if I can say, okay, you know what, every Wednesday, we it's our movie night, it's our date night.
Something like,
that's their love language.
Well, that's what my mother always told me. She said, time with the person is very important.
Okay.
If you spend too much time away from each other or separate, it just don't work.
Okay, so
Quality
we got
time.
affirmation. I love you. How you doing? Oh, you know you look beautiful.
Yeah.
We have quality time. Okay, this is our date night. So every week, this is what we do, and I think that's important. And these are things that we should demand, right? This is what we should expect to have. This so quality time is good. Third love language, and everybody's love languages are different. I'm not saying you have to do all these love languages, but one of them should be yours. You know what I'm saying? Receiving gifts. Okay, are you a gift? Are you a person that gives gifts?
Yeah.
Is that how you show your love?
Well, I show my love in a whole lot of different ways, but gifts to me, you should always be. I'm like this here. Okay. Most of the time in relationships, birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries, and that big one, that Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Those to me are the days that they're important. That's what they look as important. But I think to me, this is just me.
Okay.
I think every day should be important. Should be a special day. You can at least, I think, in when you truly love somebody and truly care and appreciate that person, you should show them every now and then. It don't have to be on those days. Every now and then, like you at work, all of a sudden you say, oh, you might be a person that love flowers, and a certain kind of flower. It's nothing wrong with you coming from work, going to work, and your friends say, "Oh, you got some flowers."
I think my love language is words of affirmation. I'm one of those kind of people who will text and be like, "I love you," or I send
those
you
little things.
Text messages or different things like that. How's your day going? I was thinking about you. I'm gonna always make you know that I'm thinking about you and that you're important to me. So
that's
my love, one of my love language is words of affirmation.
I like that.
Quality time is I'm always willing to give the time. Okay, and I believe that in relationships there should be a set aside time. I mean, life is busy and everybody has stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? But there should be always a time where you come together, and it's not always the time where you go to bed and sleep at night. But it should be a time where you go out and you socialize and you guys, do a movie, have dinner, talk. Me and Tim, he know I love to play dominoes, even though he wants to always win. But he knows, even though he's probably going to win, he'll sit down and play because he knows that's what makes me happy. And that's it's simple and it's easy, but that's still quality time.
Yes, quality time.
Right.
Yeah.
Receiving gifts. So, do you give gifts?
Yes, I like to give gifts. I like to give surprise gifts. Just because gifts.
I'm a giver too. I like to see the person expression when you make them happy.
You surprise them and you give them something they ain't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? And that way, on those holidays, some ladies are excited about that holiday because they don't get nothing no other time. You know what I'm saying? But you sitting there like, ain't nothing. It's another day for me because I always get gifts.
And how do you feel about that? Because everybody's love language is not the same. So if you have a person that they love holidays and they and Valentine's and birthdays and stuff like that, but then you're a person you don't care about that. I don't.
I'm saying I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not a must for me. But I know that I know the women love those days. They love those special days. And,
so you rather give than actually have to receive.
Yeah.
Okay. The fourth love language is called acts of service. For these people, actions speak louder than words. People who speak the language of service want their partner to recognize that their life is rough and help them out any way possible. So this fourth one is acts of service, meaning you are always willing to help. There might be something going on you with your parents or something, and with their parent, and let me help you. What do you need? How can I assist you? You might have a family member moving. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, your sister's moving and your man comes and says, you know what, look, I'll drive the truck, I'll get the truck, let me help you guys out. Acts of service, they don't mind helping and doing because they know that's going to make you happy.
Right.
Okay. And then the fifth love language is physical touch. Okay. I'm a touchy person too.
Me too.
I'm a touchy person. And so I like to, and when I mean physical touch, it's like I like to play. You know what I'm saying? I will always grab and pinch him, or I'm messing with his stomach. I'm serious. I'll always pull his pants down. He be looking like, girl, go on. I'm trying to pull, and he's laying in the bed watching TV, and I'm just go around just bother him. And it's just playing, but it's just physical touch.
Yeah.
So these are the 5 first, the love languages that are expressed in this book. So if you want to learn your love language, you guys can purchase this book. And I'm not advertising anything, but it's just a good read and something to have. And again, it's the 5 love languages.
Especially if you're in love with that person, and
right. And if you want to learn how to build relationships, because relationships are work. Okay, relationships are work. And I told you guys, I'm going to tell you about my second marriage now. I got married at 21. For my first marriage, and for sure it was infatuation. It was something that I thought that's what you're supposed to do. You get married, you have kids, you get the white picket fence, and you keep it going. You get you somebody to look good, and a lot of times we're visual, okay? So I didn't take the time to look at anything else other than, oh my God, he looked like he got it going on. He looked him fine, So that was good enough, and there was not and I can truly say there was not a whole lot of thought into it. Came from a good family. I came from a good family. What else is there? There was no thought to sit back down and say, what do we plan for our future? Okay, so needless to say, that was that. So now, that was at 21. I think my second marriage, I was married at was I 38? I think I was married at 38. I got married at 38 years old, and I can truly say that it was for convenience. I wasn't in love. I wasn't infatuated, but it was convenience. And I had a plan then. I had two boys, okay? And I had moved out to the IE, and I had just bought a home, and I was a single parent, and it was scary. I was a single parent. It's my first property. I had bought this house, and I had my boys, and I'm thinking they need a father. Not that they didn't have a father, but they needed somebody consistent. They needed somebody in their life. They needed to see what a husband and a wife situation looks like, okay? We got the house. They had everything they needed as far as, physically, okay? But emotionally, I wanted them to have the mother-father type of situation. So I deliberately set out to find somebody I felt that would be a good match for me, might not be necessarily the person I would have picked a long time ago, but I learned to choose differently, right? And in my mind, it didn't have to be about love, but it had to make sure, it had to provide the things that I wanted it to provide. And that was some stability and somebody that can train and help me with raising my boys. So it was about the convenience. And that's exactly what it was. I was not in love, and we stayed married for 10 years. And we did a lot of different things. He was there for my children, things that, people take for granted. Like he taught them how to fish, and, we never fought, so they never was around any fighting or arguing and different things like that. He was very respectable, church-going man, had a good family and different things like that. We've actually built and owned 2 restaurants together, so we made a life together, and then in my mind that's what it was supposed to be. So I went from being infatuated and thought I was in love to being it was all about just basically what was needed. Convenience. It was convenient, and I stayed in the marriage being in a convenient marriage for 10 years, and after 10 years I walked away. I walked away from the marriage because after 10 years, I kind of realized again, because it was convenient, my kids was grown by then, right? They was in college, getting ready to move on. So
you need that convenience.
I didn't, because now I wanted some fun and want to be in love and, that stuff. And so that ended that, So I've done the infatuation. I've done the thought I was in love, and I've done the marriage for convenience, okay? And so it depends, and I truly set out and planned that. This is what I needed. So that's what I looked for.
Right.
Okay, that's what I looked for, and I have no negative things to say about him at all. Never did not one bad thing to me. Never called me on my name. Nothing. There was nothing negative about the relationship.
You wasn't
It's just that, it sounds cold. It served its purpose.
Right. That's what it was.
It's a cold-blooded thing to say it served its purpose. But at the end of the day, what I do feel like is this. We learned a lot from each other. And what I told him was this. My intention was not to hurt you. But I feel like you deserve to be with somebody that loves you. Now, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Yeah. And that's a big difference. Because you can love a person.
You can love a person, but
if you're not in love with them, it's a cold-blooded situation, right?
Yes.
So... And I felt like, you know what, we're still young, so, I don't want to take up no more of your time. When you could be with somebody that's truly, man, like really in love with you and feeling you and all of that. Now, you don't want somebody that's, and so, but people get so accustomed to being together, they will say, I don't need all that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because you can be in a relationship for convenience, and that plays out as well. It plays out, yeah. Yeah. You want to be with somebody that you truly care about, just like the couple just talked before, Calvin and Pam. You want your ride or die. Do you not want your ride or die?
And what they say, your emotion, what she said, it's got to be full?
Yes. Her emotion tank.
Her emotion tank's got to stay full.
Like he keep her straight.
And
he keep her straight. So he keep her straight, so she keeping him straight. You want that.
Yes, you want.
You want that. Because it all infatuation plays out. Okay.
Convenience plays out.
What'd you say? Convenience plays out. Yeah. And when you finally realize who you really are, I think, and what you really want in life, then you make those steps to provide for yourself to make sure that you get that. I mean, I think that, I've done a lot in my life. I've done some good and I've done some bad, Like I said, I'm a triple threat. I'm on my third go round, I am. It is what it is. This is life. I've lived a full life. I can't say that I haven't. I've had some experience, and I'm transparent. I don't have a problem saying it, But I'm on my third go round, and I can truly say with this one, he brought so much excitement into my life. The things that I was not doing, He came in with a different look on life, and one thing about him is he keeps everything 100. He 100% on 100. He don't sugarcoat nothing. And for me, that was like that kind of made me go, So he wasn't telling no lies.
Compatibility was good.
Look, because when we got together, I was like, "Are you seeing somebody?" He was like, yeah." And so we would,
yeah.
Yeah, he would tell me, yeah, oh yeah. You still seeing somebody else? He's like, yeah. And so then we were sitting and talking. I'd be like, "When was the last time you slept with that person?" He was like, "Oh, the other day." Now,
kept it 100.
Kept it 100. And I'm sitting there looking like, but because you expecting a man to lie. You expect a man to tell you what you want to hear.
What you want to hear.
Oh, he told me the truth. And I had so much respect for that, right? I had so much respect for that. So
would you just move the other person out the way?
I didn't move anybody out the way. You know what I'm saying? I didn't move anybody out the way. I just think that we were at, what was I, 49, 50. Tim and I be together to be 8 years in September. Yeah, it'll be 8 years.
So you're 60-something?
Am I? No, I'm not 60. I'll be 56 next week. I sure will be. I'll be 56 next week. Yeah, I'm a triple threat. I'm on my third go round, but this is my last go round. This is what it is, and it's all good.
We got a caller.
We got a caller. All right.
Go ahead, caller. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yo.
Can you pull him up a little bit?
It might be him. That's not her. That's him. Step up to your phone. Put your phone up to your mouth.
I would say step up to your phone, like you got to walk up to it.
I can't put it no closer.
I think, okay, wait a minute. What about your volume on your phone? Can it come up a little bit? There it is.
There you go. There you go.
How you doing?
Home?
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about y'all?
We doing pretty good. What you think about this love thing? What's love got to do with it, brother?
Love got a whole lot to do with it, but at the same time, probably not enough. But you said something very profound just a moment ago, and I think it speaks volumes, and I think it resonates. It should resonate with everybody, and that's that knowing yourself. I think a lot of people jump into relationships with people who don't know themselves, and that's going to end up being a volatile situation because what happens is you become a dependent and a liability. You know what I mean? But when you love yourself, you know how to receive love. But unfortunately, most people in our community haven't seen a lot of love because of dysfunctional families and things of that magnitude. So we don't know how to give it. You know what I mean? And there's got to be some type of change come in order for the kids to understand because they're so infatuated with infatuation.
Have you been married before?
I'm sorry?
Have you been married before?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Are you in a relationship
Mm-mm.
right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay, let's go back to the first question. You know, he tell her, he said, love got everything to do with it, sometimes nothing. Okay, so tell me this. Why haven't you been married before? Is it just something you do not want to do?
Oh, no. I think really, I think every man, if he's truthful, would love to have a soulmate. I think everybody, I mean, that's what God put us here for, you know what I'm saying, to have a significant other. It's just a matter of finding the right person, understand yourself, and having a connection. Because you stated a few things earlier that are very true indeed, and that's that when we're attracted to somebody, it's the visual from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's said and what's done after that is gonna lead into something else. At least that should be the case.
Right.
Everybody's visual, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see what you see and you like what you like. But there needs to be a conversation had, several conversations, a plethora of conversations that can actually link you together. But unfortunately, those conversations aren't held, you know, because we're so in tune with the visual and not what's being said.
Right.
You know,
no
so
communication.
we'll forsake what we actually need and think about more or less what we want.
And you are so right,
right.
because when we don't actually deal with what we need, we take it for so long, and then all of a sudden, then it's over. And that's what I did. I'm saying on my second marriage, basically, when you marry for convenience, and you don't really get what you need out of the relationship, eventually it's gonna end. Eventually, somebody's gonna get upset.
You have people from the inception don't actually sit down and talk about the things that they need and the things they want, but wants take a back seat to needs.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have people fulfilling other people's ideologies, their mental, their physical. There's no connection because there was never anything put on the table about what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do moving forward.
Right.
So you don't even actually know who this person is.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You don't know until you all the way in bed, literally and figuratively, with this person.
And sometimes we get married based off sex. You look good and you rocking it, so guess what? It's going to be all right. As long as you look good and you keep rocking
it, I
guess
it's going to be all right anyway. We're going to make that work. You know what I'm saying? That's the easy part.
Right, exactly.
We're going to make that work. That's going to be all right.
But you know what? You say that.
What happens after that?
You say that. Okay, now, the sex can be good, but, you know, let me just say this. A lot of times, just what you said. If we don't sit down and we don't understand what's really going on, we don't have a plan, if we're not equally yoked, if my plan is not your plan and think everybody's going left and right, you know what I'm saying, nobody's going in that straight line together, then regardless of the sex and all of that, then eventually everybody's going to end up going their own way. Because there's going to come a time when you want to be satisfied with what you need. You know what I'm saying? Your needs have to be met. And I believe that was my situation. You know, I was always worried about, satisfying everybody else, making sure everybody had what they need. And I put what I needed on the back burner. Okay. And then all of a sudden, it's like I crashed and burned and it was a done data. And everybody got to go. Sorry, deuces. I'm going to throw up the deuces. This over. This over. And don't nobody even know why it's over. What happened? It's over. Yeah, it's over. And don't even know why.
Teddy
Sorry. Shit.
Teddy Pendergrass he wrote a song. He sang a song, wrote a song, made a song a long time ago. It revolved around not 70-30, not 80-20, not 60-40, 50-50. You're not going to always get 50-50.
This is true.
That's impossible.
Okay.
Relationships are about commitment and compromise. You can't win every battle. Even if you are right, sometimes you got to be wrong, just for the sake of, you know what I'm saying, peace. You know, and you win some, you lose some, but you got to learn how to pick your battles wisely. A lot of people don't understand the intricacies of a relationship. Relationships are also business. Relationships are very much business. There's finances involved. There's a plethora of things involved that go into relationships. A lot of women jump into a relationship with a man, don't even know if this fool got a bank account.
Ooh, trust that.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust that.
If he ain't got a bank account, guess what bank account he gonna be on?
He driving a fancy car and ain't got a garage to park it in.
He in an apartment.
Yeah.
No, yeah, mama house.
So as you age is the best teacher is experience.
This is
true.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Age is not so much a determining factor on manhood.
Okay.
It's what you've gone through that develops you as a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as you get older, you start to realize what's important and what's not, what's a priority and what's not.
Exactly.
That's why men and women are on different wavelengths as they get older.
Okay.
Men start to settle down and slow down at a later age.
They slow down because they can't
So,
whip it as much. So shit, they ain't got no choice but to go sit down somewhere. Long as they slanging it, they doing what they want to do.
That depends on who your man is. That depends on who your man is.
That's
all I can tell you.
I just knew you was gonna respond to that. Now I have a question for you.
How you know that? You don't know that.
Because I can tell you're a strong black man. I already know. I'm already knowing. And so once I say, anytime you say anything to a man about his junk not working, they got something to say.
Better.
Exactly. So what happens
I don't need no
me?
jumper cables.
So what I do is I just make a point of saying something to see what's going to happen. So anyway, I want to know, basically, I mentioned the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. What out of those 5, what are your love languages?
I don't really know about that book and those languages, but what I will say is this. I'm a communicator.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I believe communication is vital.
Okay.
Because, like I said, as you get older as a man,
mm-hmm.
all that jumping up and down up in the bed, you want somebody that you can actually have conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
They can talk about more than the housewives. What do you think about Mueller? What do you think about the trickle down theory? It could be anything. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I like to communicate. I think communication is key. If you are in a relationship, I think everybody should wake up and spend at least 10, 15 minutes as soon as they wake up and talk about what they're going to do, what they done did, how they going to plan their day, and what they're going to do when they get home. That's just communication. You are so
good. Do you have your certificate in counseling as well? Do we need to bring you on as well?
Yeah, bring me on. I'm a gynecologist.
You need to knock it off.
He's a gynecologist.
He's a gynecologist.
I got a certificate.
Yeah, okay, but the same man that's never been married, do you have any plans of getting married?
Well, I mean, I can plan that all day long, but if you got these knuckleheads running around here that ain't got their stuff together, it don't matter what I want to do.
No. That's what I'm saying. Do you have any intentions? I mean, as a man, if you ever want to be married or not. It ain't got nothing to do with
that's what I said. I think every man, including me, would like to have a soulmate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's not something that I think should be taken lightly, and I think it's taken too lightly.
Okay.
I think that's why we have most of the marriages with black people ended up in divorce, because nobody takes that seriously. And you spoke on it earlier. Those
mm-hmm.
vows, the couple spoke on it earlier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The vows are for real and they're serious. If you jump the broom, you should be willing to accept what comes with relationships.
And this is true. You are definitely right. Like I said myself, I'm a triple threat, so I can speak on that. This is true. I believe that when I was 21 years old, I had no idea really what love entailed. I know what I saw from my mother and father. They both went to work. They had a nice house. This is what you do. You have kids, and this is life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my assumption of what it was. But there's all that other stuff that goes in between. You know what I'm saying? And if at 21, I don't think I was prepared. I think that when you do get married, I think counseling is necessary. I think you need to sit down
mm-hmm.
and really go through the counseling process, because I think it would help people identify, really, do you really want to marry this person? Because you might find out some stuff that you actually don't know. Seriously.
Exactly.
So,
well, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
It's just on the strength of being with somebody every day. But again, experience is the best teacher. Experience
mm-hmm.
with that person, experience in relationships, that's what should propel you to do better in the next one. But unfortunately, we don't learn from our mistakes, and we bring baggage, just like the song Bag Lady. You got bag men too.
Mm-hmm.
We bring stuff to the relationship. So everybody.
What's that? Whose phone? Is that your phone? It hung up? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. That was very enlightening. We appreciate you giving us a call. I think we have another caller, another person that we'll be talking to. And this person we're going to be talking to is in regards to, she's been divorced.
Oh, that's another.
And looking to remarry. Okay, so everybody has their opinion. Again, our number is 310-946-3110. If you have an opinion, like I said, I'm a triple threat. If you're transparent and you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be another person we're interviewing. And this young lady's been divorced, and now she's looking to remarry.
What's her name?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing very well, thank you. We appreciate you taking our call and being okay to interview with us, talking about this. What's love got to do with it? So how you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great.
So basically, the information that we got from our director is that you've been married and divorced, and now you're looking to marry again. Is that true?
I'm considering it. I was involved in or married for quite some time. In a relationship with my ex-husband for about 30 years.
Ooh, so you did 30 years
over
as well.
half of my life.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
We were married for almost 18 years. And so, and hearing all the conversations, I pretty much married my best friend. We met when we were really young, and did all the things we were supposed to do, lived a great life, raised children. But then when you get older, you just start looking around and realizing that you're not 100% satisfied, and kind of like what you were saying, you've sacrificed parts of yourself in giving to other people.
I have a question. How old were you when you married him?
I was 27.
So you were 27, so you were a lot older than I was when I first got married. Tell me, what is your definition of love?
Because I'm on the second go-round, I'm not even 100% sure that I even know what love is, because, in the first marriage, I clearly thought I was in love, and I believe love endures all, but obviously that's not the case.
But you know what? Okay, but you probably were in love. You know what I'm saying? No, who's to say that you weren't? Because, man, you did 30 years, so you was in something. Now, you might have been infatuation in the beginning, you might have been in love, and then you was just as convenience. You might have did the whole 3 deals. You see what I'm saying? Triple threat.
I believe that.
Exactly. I was infatuated at first. He was everything I wanted. He was exciting. I was his ride or die. We was best friends. Oh my God.
All of that.
Love it. Okay.
Yes,
so then after that we get married. We consummate the marriage. The loving is good too. Man, guess what? I'm in love. I done busted a nut 100 times, so I know I'm in love, right?
Yes,
okay.
all of that.
So then now we didn't went down the road for a long time. We got kids and stuff, okay, and now
everything's done stopped.
Things done changed. Weight done shifted, okay? Attitudes done shifted, bank accounts done shifted, life happens, right? Okay,
right.
Then, there could be other things, saying, you looking up beside his head like, what did I get with him for? Or he say something like,
right.
That's stupid. Boy, bye. Did you just say
yes,
that? So
yes.
now you thinking different, like, So all that, them prior years, you're looking like, Okay, so now I got kids. Okay, so I need to stay with him because right now the families need fathers. Okay, so it's not just easy to walk away from something, because if nothing else, my sons or my daughters, they need their father in their life. It's important. I can't teach a man
Correct.
how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? So his father
Correct.
needs to be around. So we don't need to be another statistic. So I'm gonna look upside his fat ass head again and just say, okay, we just gonna keep on rocking, right? You know what I'm saying? That ride or die done went out the window, but right now my senses done kicked in and said, as a mother, I got to ride this thing out, right? So I ride it out. Okay, now my kids done got grown. I'm still looking at you. I'm like, hey, sister gotta make a move, because now it's all about me. Because now I'm older and I can think that I'm important as well. And I don't have to keep doing the sacrificing.
Exactly. And I think, like, the things we need just kind of shift. He was an entrepreneur and things of that nature, and I was like, I would be getting my Social Security statements every so often. I'm like, it dawned on me, like, you don't have a nest egg, or we just didn't plan accordingly. And so fun he was, but business wise, like the previous caller said, it is a business deal. And so when you start experiencing other things, money has a lot to do with stuff, and you can fall out of love real quick.
And you know what? That's a trip. So that ride or die went out the door, because you have people that are entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur too. I've never had a job like a county job or a steady job that I can say I've worked with in the same type of business with the same company for 30 years, but still it is not the county. Okay,
right.
We do contracts. Everything. It's
right.
5-year contract here, 10-year contract
there.
there.
To demean or anything, because I'll tell people, like, in being with him, I've slept with $20,000-$30,000 under the mattress.
Right.
So I've lived a great life. I've driven every kind of car I wanted to drive, and all those things. But I'm a person of stability. Like, I'd rather know what it is every month, instead of the highs and the lows. And so, that in itself began to bother me, and just other things in itself. we just grew apart, you know, and we're still best of friends to this day, you know.
Did you guys ever take a break? Did you guys just say, you know, before you just decided to divorce, did you just like take a break and then come back to it?
I'd like to say I'm sure he took some breaks. You know, never really out of the house per se, but you know, my kids are older now, and I literally just had this conversation with my daughter this week. And although we were in the home together, there were periods of times where we were more so roommates, you know, just because of all the things that were going on.
What was your breaking point?
My breaking point, I don't even know that it was one particular thing. I think I just had to make peace with it in myself. Like, I came from a family, my parents have been married for almost 50 years.
Wow.
You know, I just didn't see a lot of divorce, and the divorce examples I had of divorce were horrible, you know, child custody issues, things of that nature. And so at some point I just got to a point in my mind, I just felt like if I'm better off just seeing this through so that I don't have to catch a case behind child custody or, you know, things of that nature. So, you know, we're friends so we could get along, but I'm saying, was it the best scenario for me and the best scenario for him at that time? Probably not.
Okay.
So was it the financing situation that kind of broke the ice for you guys?
I would say not. You know, we really were opposites. He lives fast. I'm kind of, you know, like stable, slow and steady. And so we just got to a place where it just wasn't working for me anymore, you know.
Did you just get older and start panicking?
Yeah, I just got older, and I think, you know, you operate from a place of thinking like, okay, well, he's getting older, he's going to settle down, and that just didn't come timely enough, you know, for me anyway.
So after 30 years being with somebody, after being with your soulmate, your ride or die, your all that, your fun man, your children's father and all of that, how do you walk away from 30 years? That's I've never done 30. But that's a lot of years. That is a lot of years. And had you ever thought that at some point in time after you did walk away that maybe you should have stayed?
You know, initially when we separated, like I said, we're best of friends, so we would laugh, and he would be like, I know you're going to go do and marry some, you know, Thai guy, you know, straight and narrow, and I'm going to go marry some girl. We probably hook back up when we in another 10 years, you know, because he swore he was going to slow down or whatever. Because inevitably, like, we did talk. We had those conversations, and 30 years ago, you couldn't have told me that this wouldn't be the person I was sitting on the front porch in the rocking chair, you know, watching our grandkids play. So it is all scary and everything, but then you just have to – I got to a place where I just felt like I was denying myself or, you know, just cheating myself of a lot of things, you know, things that he thought was okay. I didn't think it was okay. You know, I can't say I ever physically caught him cheating, but, you know, just some inappropriate behavior.
Right. Yeah.
And so that just didn't work for me. I got tired of, you know, I'm too old to be checking phones and checking emails and checking. So it just
too old to be checking. Just too old to be checking anything. Cars, wallets, too old to be checking. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
That one leg drawers.
Right. All that. Your drawers on right.
Backwards.
All that. Give you a doggone headache trying to check and make sure your drawers came back on the way you left with them on.
You gotta sleep with the phone under the pillow.
Right. And your ringer off. Your ringer can't never be on. Your ringer ain't never on. You calling. You need him to come help you with a tie, but his ringer's off because he's trying to make sure it don't ring so you don't hear it. Father God, you know what I'm saying? All the little trips and tricks that they play. Yeah. So I feel it's okay. So now we done been through the divorce. We've done this. So now we're looking at doing this again. Are you in love?
I am. See, I'm stuttering.
Oh, you stutter. There you go. You ready to step back in the same shoes you just got out of.
No, she's probably smart. She's smarter than that. She's smarter than that.
I'm praying. I just feel like it's a different feeling. You know, I would say, if you ask me that, I would say I'm in love. I just think it's a different feeling. I think, you know, initially, my first marriage, I married for different reasons. You know, like I was like, okay, I want to raise him to be the father of my kids. I want to raise kids. I want to travel the world. I want to, you know, build a life. And on the second go round, I've been there, done that, and those are not the things that I'm attempting to do. So it's just a different situation.
That wasn't the question.
Mm-mm.
But anyway. But you asked, but the question was, are you in love?
Okay.
See, do you even see? This is my thing about this. What love got to do with it? Do we even know what love is? So it's a trick question, sweetie, because a lot of times everybody's definition of love is totally different. What I think love is might not be what you think love is. So it's a trick question. To be honest with you, I just want to see what you had to say. You stuttered, you did all that, but the bottom line is, and it doesn't mean anything. It just means that everybody's definition of love is different. It means that you're in a different place in your life. You're older, okay? Your expectations are totally different. So you probably got somebody that's straight and narrow like you, that has a future, that has their retirement set, and you know what that's going to be every month. So you're more cautious because you don't have the kids to worry about. It's just about you and him. So you look at things differently. So I think when you start to settle down at this, you know, I don't know what how old you are, but you're mature enough to be married for 30 years. So you're mature, okay?
Right.
So when you're looking at life, you're looking at life in a different light, okay? So the bottom line is we going downhill. Shit, we ain't going up. We getting older, so we getting closer to. And you're looking at me like, yeah, but you know what's the truth? We getting older. So my thing is, you know, we getting older. So you're looking for a mate. You're looking for a companion, right? Right. You're looking for a companion.
And I want to be clear. It wasn't so much about financial, you know, issues. It, you know, like trust is everything to me. If I can't trust what you say, like there's nothing. Like it's useless, you know, and so it just got to a place like he was just lying about everything. Everything was a lie. I couldn't trust what you said.
Now you see how she done went back to that first one. She done went back to that first one. That first one is in her car. We was on the second one. What we on the second one? She went back to the first man.
She moonwalked. You moonwalked backwards.
She said, "Let me clarify. Just in case he watching. Just in case he watching. I couldn't trust him. You know, he could have been broke, but if I couldn't trust him, that wouldn't go right.
But that goes. One who I can trust wholeheartedly.
Right,
you know, like,
right. Trust
like,
is everything, girl. Do you
key.
understand this in this day and time? Guess what?
Yeah.
When you get involved with somebody, you're putting your life in their hands.
That's right.
That's the bottom line. Financially, sexually, all that. The fact that you have to sleep with somebody, you give that person your body means I trust you with my life. Because shit gonna kill you nowadays, right? So that means I trust you. So if you can't be with somebody that you trust, that means I can't give my life to you. Then, you know, we don't need to be together, because if I got to, like you said, checking and all that other stuff, then you have to be checking yourself with, you know, what you doing. Because it's no longer something that you can take an antibiotic for. No. It's something that takes place now that will kill you.
That's right.
So trust is very important. I mean, love, relationships are very scary. Okay, and we have to do more communication and talking. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing against being gay and all this other stuff, but we got people on the low down, the down low, the overload, the low low, the under the ground, whatever they might be on. You see what I'm saying? And they haven't come in the closet, right? And they haven't come to grips with who they are. Okay, so communication is right. Communication is key. You have to know who you're dealing with. So you're on a different level. So I say that to say this. Sometimes it's a different kind of love.
Right.
It's a different kind of love. It's a cold-blooded, intelligent kind of love. I'm thinking for me this time, I'm because to just give yourself wholeheartedly to a person, your body, your soul, your everything, and trust it and can't trust them, it's a whole lot. Well, and a lot of women have done that, and guess what? That some of them ain't even here this day.
Well, that's why you always gotta love yourself first, and you gotta put yourself first. If you don't put yourself first, then you give yourself.
But don't you think, Eddie, that maybe you learn that going through life situations and stuff like that? Because when you're young, did you think about all that?
No,
me either. You know, and that's why I said life is the best teacher. And I just think
too that as women, you know, we're kind of bred to, you know, take care of your man, take care of your home, take care of your children, and then it's you, you know. And so, and later in life, when the kids are good grown, and everything else is good, the focus shifts, you know, and things change.
So what are you looking for in this new relationship?
You know, at this point, I am just happy to have peace, be able to have good communication. We enjoy each other's company. You know, our values are the same. he's very, integrity is a big thing for him. Like, if he says it, he does it, or damn near, is really close to doing it. There's no games,
Right.
So I can appreciate that a lot, and he's very, as somebody else was mentioning earlier, very attentive, very sensitive, love notes, just the little stuff.
Wow.
How long you guys been together?
3 years now.
3 years. Oh, okay.
That's good.
Yeah,
So out of the
3
5
years.
love languages, the words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch, what would be your love language and what would be his?
Mine would be touch, and his would be affirmation.
Wow. Okay. That's a good thing. I think that comes
That
together,
comes
right?
together, yeah.
She likes to touch
Yeah.
you. He likes to say, I love you. I love you. Touch it. That's a good thing. You know what? Throughout these conversations and from everybody talking, I mean, we had the first couple, and I mean, amazing couple, but they've gone through a whole journey, and I'm sure life wasn't just always easy, and the fact
Right.
that they're counselors too, and then talking to other different, other people about their relationships and stuff. What I'm learning too is you have to really think about what you're doing before you jump into it. You have to really sit down, and communication is key when you are choosing a mate and when you're getting involved with somebody, because it's like an interview. If you can't pass the interview, you probably need to keep it pushing. The job might not be for you. And I think sometimes we need to sit down and treat it like a job, not, literally, but, sit down and let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. And we can't let fear, because I think a lot of times we operate in fear because, it just appears that right now dating is hard, and it's scary.
It's like a game.
Yeah.
Okay, and it seems like we're as women, we're limited on the men. Now we know there's 7 women to every one man.
Right.
Right. So your man has the option of having 6 more women.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying. 7 women. It's 7 women to 1 man. Now there ain't no 7 men to no 1 woman. So we losing. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to share, right? We have to share. But
I'm not sharing.
Exactly. Nobody who wants to share. So, like I said, that's why it's important. The communication is important. The interviewing is important. The process is important, because we don't have a whole lot of time to waste. If you did 30 years on a first marriage, you don't have 30 more years to waste, and you have more knowledge on what it is you want and what it is you don't want. And some people still just jump into it.
You
know what
then
I'm saying?
need an application, a background, and everything. Yeah.
You really do a background check
all that.
and a physical.
Physical, all that. Yeah, the whole works.
That's sad.
It's hard out here in these streets.
Okay, you know what? We appreciate you sharing. This has been awesome, and congratulations on your new relationship.
And hope it work out for you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's gonna work out. We pleading the blood of Jesus.
You
Girl,
take
you got
care.
that. All
Thank you
right.
for calling.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right, bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're gonna be interviewing another couple, and I don't think they've been married as long as 30 years,
No.
but we want to hear what how they got to where they are. And how they stay where they are, and how they stay married, and all that. Are they in love, or are they in infatuation, or are they in convenience? And yeah,
This is one of my students.
Are
my
you-
friend. My little brother.
are you just simply smart? You know what you're doing. All right.
Hello?
Hello, brother.
Hello, what's up with you?
What's going on?
Oh, man, we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Chilling. Y'all listen to the show.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you for participating in our little "What's Love Got to Do with It?" Because we're trying to find out if love have anything to do with it. So, how long have you been married?
We're actually coming up on our anniversary on the 30th of this month, and we're going on 17.
Well, okay, we did 30 now. We got 17 years. Okay, that's a blessing too. Okay, so what would be? Is your wife with you?
She's right here.
How you
Hello.
doing? Hey,
Hi,
girl.
Mona.
How are you?
I'm good, and you guys?
We're doing
Good.
very well, thank you, girl. You got that 17 years in, huh?
17 years.
Were you in love, or were you infatuated when you married him? Girl, tell the truth. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it was love. It was.
I asked her.
She asked her.
I asked her, not you.
I was in love. I have to admit, I was in love. Couldn't
Uh-oh.
nobody tell nothing.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, so you were in love. And what's your definition of love?
Oh man, just unconditional. You know, my definition with love is, you know, it didn't matter. We've been through so much, even before marriage, that we've been through things that no one else can go through with me. You know, and the support that he showed was just amazing. And you can tell his love was unconditional for me. And because of that, you know, he just won my heart.
Okay, okay. So before that, when you met him, and you guys, how long did you date before you married?
4 years.
Okay, that's a good enough time. So you were pretty sure he was the one for you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You heard us talk about the 5 love languages?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did you hear us speak about the 5 love languages? Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't hear that, but I hear you now.
Okay, so words of affirmation basically is the say I love you. You know, just showing, you know, different things, like you might leave little notes and stuff like that. Quality time is when you set aside, you know, like date night, you guys put some time together for yourselves. Receiving gifts is giving gifts, you know, saying, little, it doesn't have to be anything expensive, but just little gifts just to show your love. And acts of service, just like, say, for instance, your husband, you have to do something for your sister, and your husband says, well, I'm going to go help you. It's not for you, it's for your sister, but he helps anyway, so acts of service. Physical touch, somebody that touches, like I'm touching Eddie now on his bald head. Oh, baby, you know, that kind of stuff. What would you say your love language is?
I have to say, for me, to him would be like the affirmation.
Okay.
What would his be?
Oh, man.
Where's he at?
Right, let him answer it.
What, say it again?
What would yours be? 5 that they name.
I would say...
It's not giving the flowers or candy. Don't say that one.
Ain't no receiving. Ain't no giving no gifts.
Well, I'll tell you what. You don't really like flowers that much anyways, but I like to express, you know, I like affirmation, because I always, the way we start our day off is the same, has been the same for a very long time. Okay. And sometimes we talk every morning at the same time, like around 8:15.
Okay.
And but at 4 o'clock in the morning, I get up out the bed, no matter what. If we might have had an argument the night before and went to bed, you know, but I wake up and give her a kiss and tell her I love her
before you leave.
Telling me, okay, be careful, love you too, you know.
That's what's up. Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do. Exactly, because you don't know what the world has to offer you once you walk out that door.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. That's
our morning ritual. And sometimes when I call her at 8 o'clock, she's like, I don't remember you leaving. But I can tell, because, you know, she might have had a long night. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she's baking and she don't go to bed until, like, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. You know, so I know a lot of times when she can't comprehend what's going on.
Okay.
You know. And I'm like, yeah, I gave you a kiss, and, you know, our normal routine. She was like, I couldn't remember anything.
And then I'll ask him, well, what did I say when you told me you love me? And then he'll tell me, you said I love you too, be careful, but you kind of just mumbled it. I said,
right.
Oh, okay.
But you got it out your mouth, girl. You got it out your mouth. I have a question for your husband. Okay. How did you know she was the one? You know, how did you know she was the one that you wanted to actually make your wife?
You know what? I think I noticed, one thing that I noticed about her was that when we started dating, she would tell me she'd come. Well, one day she told me she was going to come pick me up and take me to the movies. And I'm thinking, like, okay, well, she's going to come over and we'll switch cars, and then we'll get in my car, and then, then we'll go to the movies. But that wasn't the case. She's like, I'm coming to get you, get in the car, I'm driving. So we in her car, and she's taking me out, which means she's paying for everything, and I wasn't used to that. So that was something new. Me going out on a date with somebody taking care of me and me not having to pay. So that stood out right away, you know. And then another time, I think we went on a date where I was taking her out, and I put her in the car, I opened the door for her, which I still do to this day.
Wow.
And she reached over and unlocked my door for me.
We used to talk about that all the time.
She's, she's thoughtful. She's not just thinking about herself, you know. And I've been on a lot of dates with a lot of different women, and a lot of them were just the same. It was the same MO. I open the door, they sit down, and they wouldn't unlock the door for me, you know. But she did those little things that really stood out, you know.
Now I'm laughing because I'm thinking about him talking about unlocking that door. You didn't have a flip, you know, like a clicker.
The clicker, yeah. That's I said. It's when they get comfortable. That's when they doors unlocked. Go and get in.
I had a there's power locks, but she still just reached over and unlocked the door.
Aw, look at that. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. When did you know he was the one for you?
Shoot. Well, you know, when we met, honestly, I had just got out of a bad relationship, and so I met him at the gas station because I was trying to put air in my tire. My mom had told me my tires were low, so I went to the local gas station, and I was trying to put air in my tires, and I didn't know what I was doing, you know, but I was going to figure it out. And then I hear this car pull up to me in this voice, you know, saying, do you know what you're doing? And, you know, a lot of, you know, bums, you know, be at the gas station and stuff, so I didn't even really look, and I was like, no, you know, but I was trying to figure it out. So, you know, he says, well, let me help you. So the next thing you know, I see this man in his hands, and he just kind of took it from me, and I looked at him, and still I wasn't really paying attention, you know, and I was just watching what he was doing, and he was trying to teach me so that I would know.
Whoa.
So then, you know, I kind of had a little bit of an attitude, and I said, okay. I said, well, you know, you want to check the rest of my tires in since you're already down there? And so he was like, sure. So he did that, and then when he was done, I said thank you, you know, and I got in my car, and then he came up to my window, and he says, you don't have a man, do you? And I kind of got offended when he said that, and I'm like, no, and he says, because if you did, he should be doing this for you. So I was like, okay, true, you know, but I don't, so, you know, and I thank you for what you did. So then he said, well, you know, let me just give you my number in case, you know, if you ever need help again. Or so, you know.
That was pretty smooth, girl. Let me give you my number in case you need your tires filled again. You need your oil changed. I got you, girl. You ain't got no man. Let me help you out. That was real smooth of you.
I only do tires.
So, you know, he gave me the number, and I threw it in my ashtray in my car because, you know, I didn't smoke. I kept this loose change in there, so I put it in there and thanked him again and left. So about 2 weeks later, you know, I was washing my car and cleaning out the inside. I said, this is that number, that dude that had helped me at the gas station. And I cannot remember for the life of me what he looked like. So I said, you know, I'm going to just kind of call and see what's up. So I called, and we kind of played phone tag because he was working nights, so we couldn't catch each other. And then finally we did. And so we made a time that he was going to come up to my job. I was working in a mall. So he was going to come up and see me. So I said, okay. So when he came up there, before he got there, I told my manager, I said, now, look, can I take my name tag off? Because it's not Mona. So he said, so she said, okay, sure, you know, I'll let you know. So she comes back there when he arrives, and she said, girl. And I said, don't play. And she said, no. She said, he is fine. I said, seriously? I'm like, give my badge back.
I should give my badge back.
I walk out there, and when I saw him, I was stuck on stupid. I didn't even know the English language. I was just smiling and just looking at him. I don't even know if I answered the right questions. I was stuck, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, girl, check you out. She said she didn't know what he looked like, so now she's taking her badge. So now it's like, listen, he's fine, girl. Get my name badge. He need to know my name.
He was so respectful. So I mean, such a gentleman. We talked for a short period of time because I was on the clock. So then we made arrangements to go out later. And as he walked away, I just stared. I still couldn't even move. And he turned around and caught me staring. And I had to way like, oh shoot, you know. So then from there we just hit it off. You know?
Okay, so is he still fine to you, or is he just whatever?
He is still fine.
Hey, I was last week.
What'd you say, Grilly?
I was LL last week at a 50th.
Oh yeah, you
party.
sure? I saw the picture.
Is that right? Is that right? Okay, so tell me this. After, what did you guys say? 18 years of marriage?
17.
Okay, 17 years of marriage. Are you guys still in love, or are you or it's convenient?
I
stay in love.
I'm still in love.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a good thing. So, has there ever come a time in your 17 years where you guys felt like you needed to take a break from each other? Have you guys had a fallout?
Well, we've had times where we didn't gel, but it wasn't one of those things where we like talking about breaking up and going our separate ways.
We're not like if we get upset at each other, we can't go like days and days without talking.
Okay.
It's just not going to happen. So the longest I think we ever went without talking because we got upset, was it like 2 days?
Probably a couple of days.
I think it was like 2 days, and finally it was like, okay, well, we need to talk.
Like, all right already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a kiss in the morning, even though when it's there, it's still like a kiss in the morning, say,
Yeah, it's a kiss in the morning because, you never know what's going to happen once you leave the house.
Right.
But it is. But it's a kiss in the morning, but you ain't getting none in the bed.
Okay. Girl, you holding the cookie? Now, see, she gonna hold a cookie hostage.
Gonna hold the cookies with no milk.
She gonna hold a cookie hostage. Look at you. But I'm gonna kiss you just because. Okay, so you guys have gone through difficult times, but you have ways that you learn to work it out. You guys still sound excited about each other, and you still sound excited about how you guys expressed how they first met. And what she felt when I could feel you when you were talking about him coming to your job. I was visualizing it, so I could tell in your voice you're in love. Okay, and I can tell in his voice as he speaks that he's in love as well, just like that first couple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you guys are still excited about each other, and see that's what makes the difference. When you can talk about your mate, and other people can tell, dang, she excited. Like that's her man, or he's excited. That's his woman. So you can tell, yeah, you guys are in love. It doesn't feel like, not that I'm an expert on anything, but doesn't feel like it's a convenient situation over there. Now you guys have children.
Yeah, we got children.
We do. We have two. We have a 15-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter.
How did that affect the relationship once you start having children?
Well, it takes you lose time with each other when you have kids, especially when they're young. Now we can see where the kids are older and they can clean and do stuff and stuff that we normally would do for them, they can do for themselves. That gives us more time to sit next to each other on the couch and watch some TV.
And now we can actually go out on dates without trying to find babysitting.
Yeah. So when they're young, you have to spend a lot of time taking care of them, and then at the end of the day, you have however many, maybe an hour or less to spend time together, and then before you got to go to bed, and start the day over, start the next day. But now, with them being older, we get to spend more time together. So it's definitely a difference.
Okay. So the thing about what I'm hearing from all these couples basically is love is a good thing. It's good to be in love. Like I said, I always talk about I'm a triple threat and different things like that. But at the end of the day, seriously, love conquers all. You know what I'm saying? And life experiences shows you and teaches you actually what you want out of life. What type of mate you want. And you guys, I commend you. My hat's off to you because you've stood the test of time. Anytime you can make 18 years, you can make 30 years, 35 years. That is to be commended because truly just dealing with another person is a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I love you, but I might not like you today. You know what I'm saying? Or you just said something that got on my nerves. Or that didn't even make no sense. So why did that come out your mouth? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's still your person. Now you can be having this argument, in home, and you go outside and let somebody say something to them, and you be the first one like, well, I got your back. What they gonna do? What they want to do? What they want to do. So that's still a good thing. And with the things what's going on in nowadays, and with internet dating and all the different things we have to do to try to get a mate, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to be able to hear couples talk about how they got together, you know what I'm saying, how they stayed together.
And they still love each other.
They still love each other, things that they've accomplished together, things that they've overcome, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's good for the people that are listening too, because if you're in a relationship, I think it's helpful. If you're not in a relationship, I think the things that people have said tonight is helpful as well. If you don't know what to look for in a relationship, I think you will. We all fall short, and sometimes we make mistakes. But life is short. And love still exists. Love still exists, irregardless to what we see on TV. I mean, on Love and Hip Hop, and everybody popping the next one, and this one getting passed to that one, and it's not. It's not. Some of it is realistic, some of it isn't. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to know that there is love that still exists, and that people are willing to work it out, and that I still believe, I'm going to be a firm believer right now, is that anybody getting married should have some counseling, because a lot of times it takes a third party to just bring up some basic questions that you guys didn't even know the answer to, or how this person felt about it, to kind of make you see things a little bit differently. What you think, Eddie?
I agree with you on that. You definitely have counseling. We've done counseling through church, and then and we still.
That was premarital.
Yeah, it was premarital, and then we went to a conference.
Is that like premarital sex? Is premarital counseling like premarital sex?
Hey,
Did y'all have a counseling after y'all had premarital sex?
we were told, we promised that we wouldn't do anything while we were there because that was before. So
we promised.
And I held up my end of the bargain.
We held up that end, but I know that this is wrong. Okay, but we're human. But I'm a firm believer that you got to test the goods before you say I do.
Test drive that car before you buy it.
Buy the car, don't drive it.
Exactly.
Well, oh my gosh, you gotta see if you getting a Bentley or you getting a Volkswagen.
No, you getting a Yugo.
You getting a Shorty or you getting a limousine. You getting a bus or you getting a motorcycle.
Hey, I wanted to say this. This is one thing that I remember talking to Mona about when we decided to, we both said, you know what, our relationship, let's take to the next step. We had a conversation about, I remember telling her if anything ever happens where someone comes and tells you something about me, or vice versa, someone comes and tells me something about you.
You mean another woman?
I'm not going to take their word for it. I'm going to talk to you first before any of that. So we had that conversation, and we've always done that. And there were times where it might have been a couple times where somebody said something, some negative, and then we talked about it, and then it was nothing. It never came to anything. Because people can do that in your relationship. There's negative people. So what we try to do in our relationship is we try to stay positive, and we try to keep positive people in our life.
Okay.
And keep that negative stuff out, because that negative stuff is what will end relationships.
Because that's the haters. That's the haters that see how happy you guys are, and they not happy, so they feel that let's break them up.
Do you have a lot of single friends?
No.
Okay.
We my wife has a friend that from her job. She's single, but she was married. She's divorced, and I have a friend that's divorced. But most of my friends that I hang out with are married.
Okay. That question probably was more so for you anyway. See if you had a lot of single friends that you hung around, you know what I'm saying? Because do you think if you had a lot of single friends that you actually, hung out with, that would have an influence on your relationship with your wife?
I'll tell you this, as far as hanging out with if I have friends that are single or if they're married, I don't let what they're doing change the fact of what I want to do or what I'm doing.
Okay.
Which means like we go out somewhere and I feel like, hey, it's time, because I don't stay away from home. It's time for me to get back to the house, or if they're getting into something, like I said, the whole negative thing, I try to stay away from that.
But you know what? Honestly, he has two friends I can say that are single. They're not married. But you know what? They're so respectful, and I love them to death, like brothers. And they've only shown me respect. So if they say, hey, gee, let's go play ball or let's go out to a bar, I have no problem with that at all. I trust him, and you have to. You have to have that trust. If you don't have that and you're just paranoid all the time, it's not going to work. I don't want him, and we've talked about this with me getting older. He's 6 years older than me, but still with me getting older, it's like, I want him to be able to hang out with his friends and not just because you're married now you have to let go of friends. I don't believe it. I trust him. So it's a lot of times I'm telling him, why don't you go out? I'll stay here with the kids, go out.
Well, I'll tell you, my brother can attest to this. I ran the street, so it's nothing new out there. I pretty much ran the streets and did it all. So
girl, leave him where he is, honey. Don't be pushing him out there. Leave him where he is, because trust you push him out there, somebody ready to receive him, honey. Leave him where he is. He doing fine where he is.
I like home.
Well, trust me, I make sure that it's comfortable for him too. My mom taught me that. She said, you don't want your man gone all the time. She said, so make him comfortable at home. So he wants a pool table, get a pool table. Let his friends come over to the house and hang out. And so he is provided with things so that he's comfortable with his friends coming over. But at the same time, there's times that, maybe one of my girlfriends may say, hey, let's go have drinks after work or so. Well, I don't want him sitting here thinking that, he's the babysitter. I like him, go ahead and go out too.
She wants you to go out so she can go out.
No, we don't do it well, sometimes we do it at the same time, but, it's very rare. Yeah.
I'm just joking with you. I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful how you guys work with each other, and I think it's actually good that you want him to, go out and enjoy himself and be able to hang with his friends and stuff like that. That's a good thing. But that man knows if he wants to go or stay, and that's a good thing too. He sounds very respectful. You guys sound like you have a beautiful, beautiful relationship. My hat's off to you. Sounds like you guys done counseling, so you done all the right steps. And so anybody that's hearing or listening, basically that's not married or looking to get married, this is good information. Like I said, we've had some marvelous people on tonight. We've had the Calvin and Pam that are actually certified counselors and been married for 35 years, and we had another caller that was married for 30 years that's divorced, and now she's moving into a new relationship and with a new husband. And then we have you guys has been married for 17 years, and the basis for it all is about communication and talking to one another, respect and love. So when we said today, what does love have to do with it? Guess what? It has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. Yep. We thank you for coming on our show and being a part of it. This has truly been a blessing to Eddie and I. And hopefully you will tune in with us next week. What love has to do with it has everything to do with people. Guess what? Get you somebody that you love. Love is important, because I can tell you from experience again, if you marry for infatuation, it's not going to last. If you marry for convenience, it's not going to last as well. But once you get involved and you love somebody, that love thing, that heart, when them heartstrings are pulled, it's a good thing. And when God is involved and he's made the head of your life, you can't do nothing but win. It's a win-win situation. So keep God in your life first. Get you some counseling. Do some premarital counseling. I started laughing. I thought about premarital sex. Right. Do those things so that you're building a foundation that you want to stand against the test of time, because this world will test you.
Oh, yeah.
And the women will too. And the men will too. Because they coming. Because you got some lonely souls out there. You got some people that are desperate. You got people that do whatever it takes to have somebody. We didn't do the side chick show, the side man show, the cleanup man show. We didn't did all the shows, because guess what? They out there. So the fact that you guys are still holding each other down, you guys are ride or die for each other. You got each other's back. It's a blessing. God bless you. Keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
I just want to say thanks. Hey, thanks, bro. Sister-in-law, guys, thanks for calling in, and I love you guys.
I love you too. Thanks.
All
right.
Okay.
Bye. Again, we didn't do this one more again. All right.
Yeah.
Right, Eddie? I think this has been a good show. We thank everybody for participating. Well, on the 21st of next week, which is Thursday, actually, it's going to be my birthday. So Stormy's turning 56, turning 56. So we will not be airing a new show. But what we'll do is do a replay.
Yeah, we'll do a replay.
So we'll put something up.
Matter of fact, you guys go on to the site and let's see what show you want to see again.
Oh, no, we do I just have to schedule it. I was going to do Side Chick.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, we'll probably do a replay of Side Chick.
Yeah,
we'll do a replay of Side Chick. So it will be scheduled same time, same place. You just won't be able to call in, but you will be able to view the show.
That's right.
Okay, again, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for the support. We thank you for supporting us and being with Eddie and I. It's been truly a blessing. And we will see you on the 28th of June.
All right. Peace out.
All right.